Hey, it's Doug from the Rise Up Gym channel. And are you doing kettlebell swings and just looking for some new ones to help spice up your workouts? Well, I got you covered with these 8 unconventional kettlebell swings that you can do in your workouts. Let's check it out. This one might be it. As you probably know, all the insurmountable benefits that kettlebell swings they can have for your explosiveness, your cardiovascular, your hip drive, all those things. Also, they can be challenging in the beginning, so make sure before you do any of these unconventional ones that you have a good kettlebell swing, you're doing good hip drive, you're doing good form, you have the endurance to do these things, and then you can start sprinkling in. If you need help with your kettlebell swing, check out this video I have up here on how not to hurt your back, which is probably one of the most common ailments that comes along with the kettlebell swing. So in this video, I'm going to show you my favorite 8 unconventional swings. Now, the reason why they're unconventional is they require a little bit more skill or technique. They also require a little more room. So one, you don't drop it and hurt somebody or something or hurt yourself. So they're a little more risk to reward ratio kind of condensed in there. So I'm going to start with my first one, and this one's actually a little bit easier, but I think it's a good precursor to a lot of different swings, is the 2-1-1 swing. The reason why I like this one a lot also is because if you want to move up in bell weight, so let's say you can swing a 24, but you want to move up to a 32, this is a good way to do it because you have 2 arm swings intermittent within the 1 arm swings. So you can kind of build up to it. So I'm going to start with a 2 arm swing. Then I'll let go in 1 arm. Back to 2. And 1. So pretty straightforward there, but the goal is to build up my endurance with my 1 arm swings because a lot of these that I'm going to show you are 1 arm based. And also it's to make the 1 arms kind of like the 2. Balancing out sides as well. So we might have our weaker side be a little bit weaker or less coordinated. So we want to balance that out the best we can. This is a good one for that. The next one we're going to do, I call it around the world or around the body swing. It's a good one actually for mobility, not super high level. One thing you want to do is leave a corner. So I'm going to swing around the body and I'm going to counter shift my weight. So the weight's here, I'm counter shifting my weight and I'm pushing my feet through the floor and moving around, and then I'll switch. Leaving that corner open so I can grab. So that one is great for mobility, kind of spinal movement. Also, if you're an athlete trying to drive through the legs and getting that timing down, it's a good one. You just got to be careful when you go around the back that you don't drop it and drop it on your ankle. Next one I like is the catch and release. I'll show a 2 arm and a 1 arm version of this. So basically at the apex or pinnacle of the swing, I'm just going to let go and then grab it again. Work some hand-eye coordination, works a little bit of grip, and also really test the timing of your swing to see if you're doing it properly. So at the top, I'm just going to let go. And you can do different things with this. So in the past, I've done touch the chest and go to work. Whoa, I'm almost done. Touch and go, touch and go. I've done hits or pats. So you're working your timing and also just working your speed of your hands and then working that timing of the bell. Again, you can catch and go with 1 arm too. And you can switch. Letting the bell float, grab, catch and go. So that catch and go, you want to do it so the bell doesn't jerk you around and you're able to kind of seamlessly grab it and follow right into it. So again, it takes timing, takes a little bit of grip strength and control, and it's a good one. Just if you miss the catch, got to watch out for your feet. Next one is the figure 8 swing. So the figure 8 swing, we're going to treat it like a 1 arm swing. We're going to come down the middle, and I'm going to transition or switch the bell in my other hand in the back, and then come around the front. I'm going to have my hand here to stop it, and I'm going down and around. You want to leave a corner open so you can grab that corner when you come around. If you ever hand in the middle, it's going to be hard to grab. Lastly, you want to make sure you backswing very well. If you kind of have a shallow backswing, it's hard to switch. The more backswing you have, a little bit easier to switch. So I'm going to go down the middle. Let me get 1 arm swing going. Go down the middle, around, touch. I want to make sure I drive from the hip and I'm able to get it to the top position. I don't want to stop here and do this because then I'm just grinding out my low back. So I want to make sure I get a weight that I can finish my hip and bring it to this weightless part up at the top. Again, this is a little bit tricky. If you miss it, you can drop it. You can bang the back of my knee. I kind of bumped in the back of my knee on one of them, but that's the risk on those. All right. So now we're going to do two types of cleans that are unconventional. The clean, traditionally bringing the weight from the swing to the rack position. The ones I'm going to show you are a waiter clean first, which is bringing the bell up from the swing and catching it by the bell into like your serving platter. I'll do same side and cross side. So same side, I'm going to go through and just catch it right here. Now I can cast it back into this hand and over. I can cast it over and here. Now the second way is I'm going to cross clean. So I'll go over, then I'll go same side, cross clean, and over. So I'm catching it, I'm bracing with my core, tucking everything in, decelerating a moving weight. So that just helps with all those like athletic attributes. The next one I'm going to do is a hatchet clean, where I'm going to control the bell by holding it here. Now you can brace the bell with your fingers. That helps a little bit in the beginning. If you want to be really strict, don't brace the bell, but I'll brace in the beginning. Another tip, make sure the bell handle is kind of perpendicular this way, so that way you're able to catch it into that hatchet. If you have it this way, parallel, it's going to be hard to turn it around. It's going to send you in different directions. So I'm going to clean it here. I'm going to catch, back down, and I'm cross cleaning. You can go same side, cross, here. So again, it's that deceleration, it's that bracing with the core. This one requires a little more grip strength than the waiter press. So all those attributes are trained. Obviously, they're a little dicey if you drop them, so be careful. Next, we have the alternating switch clean and switch snatch, which means I'm going to swing from one hand and I'm going to transfer to the other hand and end up either in a clean or a snatch. I'll start with the clean first. Now, the trick with these is to have the free hand ready to go and moving, and you meet right here. So I'm going to leave an open space here. So I'll swing, and let's say I'm going to clean. I'm going to meet over. That was a little bit hard. I'm going to meet over. So I'm sliding my hand through, sliding my free hand through. And then as you get better and better, you can tighten it up. I don't do this one very often, as you can tell. The one I do more of is the cross snatch. So the snatch is the one bringing it from the swing to the overhead, which I'll do now. Now, as I bring it up, I'm going to follow, and kind of at the peak, I'm going to switch my hand. Again, leaving a little bit of space here. So I'll get my swing. All right. Snatch. Down. Follow it up. Snatch. 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 And up. So that one, to me, is a little more seamless. I like that one. That one's good, too, if you're doing long sets and you don't want to throw a swing in between and you just want to be cool and switch at the top. Good way to do that. So try those out without dropping it on your foot. All right, most of the kettlebell swings are in the sagittal plane. We can do rotational ones, too. I generally use Bulgarian bags for this because they're safer. If you bang into your body, it's going to be a little more forgiving than a kettlebell. But you can do it with the kettlebell, and I have done it with the kettlebell. What we're going to do is we're going to grab the handle. We'll start with the two-arm version. We'll swing, and then we'll go to the side, back swing, and side. And then I'm going to emphasize one side more than the other. You can, maybe in the after I get going, I'll do both sides in a sense where they try to make them equal. So I'm going to be here. I'm going to switch, come back, and then, like I said, I can do. So I'm like pendulum swinging that way. You can also do it one arm, and I like the one arm version, one for the grip. It also helps with guys that are baseball, softball players, golf. This is a good one. Again, Bulgarian bag is great for this, or a club bell, but if you don't have a lot of equipment, you can get away with it with this. So I'm going to hike through, backswing. I'm gonna backswing, switch hands, bang my knee, see? Should have put the bell down. All right, so that one's a good one. Again, the kettlebell, I bounced it on my knee in case you saw that. The Bulgarian bag's a little more forgiving. If you're gonna do it, I recommend not doing what I did and being lazy, but set it down, switch, do it properly, and you don't need a ton of weight for it either. So that'll help you save your knees. All right, lastly, we got the most dangerous one. It's the flip. So what we're gonna do is we'll do a 2-arm version where I'm gonna swing, I'm gonna push the bell underneath and catch it. So as I get to the top, I'm gonna push the bell and catch, catch, catch. You can also do it forward as well. I think forward's harder. Back is a little bit more natural because like when we're doing the snatches or the cleans, we're driving our hand this way. This way requires a little more scoop and flip, but it is doable. So I'm gonna hike through, catch, catch, catch. You can also do it forward as well. I got a new kettlebell because the other one's a little slick. So I'm gonna flip it over forward. So I'm gonna hike through, forward. So hike through, really over. The nice thing about this one, the 1-arm version versus the 2, I can really pull and flip. So again, these are super dangerous. Are they necessary? I don't know, but they're kind of fun to be able to do. There is a little bit of a grip component. There is a little bit of timing component, which can be fun. So if you do these, do them safely, build up to something that you can do. Always start with a great swing foundation. Some, like I said, are more beneficial than others. I use more like the rotational ones and the alternating 2-1-1 and the hatchet and all that stuff. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please put them down below. If you like the video, please like it down below as well. And also, if you have topics for future videos, put them down below and I'll do it. Thanks again.